So for my assignment, I had to find someone that's obviously into music. I didn't know anybody, so my professor recommended us to go to band camp, find someone like the music, or just find something you like. And honestly, I just looked up a couple things, and yours really caught my attention.
That's crazy. Like, Bandcamp is such a great thing. Like, I've had like so many people that I would never expect come across my music just through like Bandcamp, and it's crazy because a lot of people push Spotify and Apple Music a lot, and it's a lot of like our overseas followers and everything like that. They're usually like banned randomly through Bandcamp, so that's super cool. Shout out your professor for that.
Yeah, he's probably gonna end up seeing this recording anyways, so
Awesome, that's
thank you.
great.
Yeah.
um so yeah, I'm ready whenever you are. We can get this bad boy started.
All right. So, how did you come up with your moniker, Kid Moses?
uh it's a very long story, so I'm gonna try to like condense it as quick as possible. So I'm in a group, and we're actually from South Dakota. So when we were, I mean, this was years ago in our party phase, we drove to one of the homecomings at one of the universities, USD. It was called D-Days. It's basically just like a week-long event of just like partying. So we went out there and basically partied day and night, and we just like met all these people. We're walking around, and I just kept going by like different aliases. Like, I never told people my real name. I just kept like, and like they
Yeah.
finally just like my boys just caught on, and just we just like grow these big random stories about like what we did for a living and stuff. So anyway, after a long week of partying, we were on our way back to Rapid City, about 5 hours away. You know, we were just kind of BSing and just kind of going over all the stuff that happens. We were like going around and just like saying, like trying to remember all the names that we used. And like, I just remember Moses was one of them. And I was like, yo, Moses is a dope name. And, like when it comes down to it, I feel like pretty old school when it comes to music, and like stage names are definitely a thing. Um, I never like wanted to be necessarily famous, but I also like the fact that I have like music, and then I have like my separate life, So like there's some people who don't even know me, they just know me and they think my name is Moses. That is great, like that's cool with me. So I mean, that's kind of how it like began, and I think I just like yelled the name Moses on like one of our like very first tracks, just like joking around, and it just kind of stuck after that, And I just like threw the kid in front of it because that's kind of just like, I don't know, kid, big, young, little, There's all those. I was like, okay, I was young when I was doing it, so yeah, that's how Kid Moses became.
Honestly, thank God you told me. I thought your name was really Moses.
No, yeah, and most do. Like, honestly, like people will see me and they'll like still call me Moses, even though they like know my government name. You know what I'm saying? They'll like
Yeah.
still just call me Moses. I'm like, I'm cool with it, like you ain't gotta know who I am outside, like I'm good.
It's like, yeah, I definitely like that. I found it funny how you say like just throwing the kid in front of Moses. It's like just I don't know, I like that.
I
So who
mean,
really
if I said my name was just Moses, then they would, like I felt like because it was a stage name, I had to like throw something in front of it to maybe make it seem like it wasn't like my name, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But anyway,
I mean it worked out for you.
it did, or it has.
Yeah, it definitely has. Who inspired you to make music?
Uh, I mean, I'm sure I could like write like a list of names, you know, that like have inspired me over the years. But honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's my homeboy. Shout out Tanner Bisgard. Shout out Dimitri Fay. They're like, grew up with them. And in high school, we used to take like blaze cruises, you know, like get out of the house, sneak out on a Friday night. And and I would like make these CDs and like every once in a while I'd just throw a couple instrumentals on there. And I never really freestyled. It was really just one of my other buddies. And I just remember like one day, just out of the blue, one of those instrumentals came on and we were just like, we were actually cruising home. And I just kicked like 12 to 16 bars. And like Tree and Tanner looked at me and were like, yo, what the, like, where did that come from? Like, we, like, what? You know, they were so confused. So that kind of gave me like the confidence to like kind of do it. You know, I go to parties, people would be beatboxing, you know, and like we'd be, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
and every once in a while I like peek out, you know, kick a few bars or whatever, but I wasn't like super into it. But then like I feel like really what sprung things into gear was once again, shout out Boogie Blossom, my boy out in California. He was actually a few years older than me. He played football, lived in the football house across the street from the dorms, and that I went to freshman year. And he like made music prior to that, was working on a mixtape. And this is back when like people were still rapping over other people's beats. You know what I'm saying? Like they were taking like Black and Yellow and making a remix to it.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, I just, you know, looked up to him and he dropped this mixtape that was like, I was like shocked, like surprised that I knew this person. Like, how do I even, how are you in school still? Why aren't you making music? Like, how are you not famous? And that kind of like kickstarted it. You know, I was like an eager artist. Oh, hey, you want to collab? Like, we should make music together. But I didn't have any music thus far. So yeah, I just like started making music in my car, literally in the parking lot of the dorm rooms. I had like hung a sheet inside the, you know, thought I was doing soundproofing stuff. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, Recorded a few things and like once again went back to the dorm room, showed some people really crappy music. Maybe they just didn't want to hurt my feelings at the time, I don't know, but like they gave me good feedback and I was like, yo, maybe I could like do this for real, for real. And yeah, that's kind of how it all got started.
That's a crazy
my,
story,
my
honestly.
inspiration.
So you're a rapper, engineer, producer, correct?
Yes, I
So
would like to say, yeah.
I mean, you are. You have that title. What's your creative process like?
um I don't have like a set routine necessarily. The one thing that I do is I usually partake in some extracurricular activities. And then, you know, I just kind of like go with the flow. And that's kind of like how my life is in general. I don't, you know, I mean, there is some steps. I like to burn incense, you know, gotta have the lava lamp on, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you gotta
Like,
set the mood.
every once in a while I'll throw Pinky in the Brain on, you know, just for some like background, like visuals or, you know, something like that. But really there's no process. I'm kind of just like in the zone type of person. If I sit down and I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. If I sit down and I'm not feeling it, I am not feeling it. You know, sometimes I come back the next day and go, yo, what was I doing? You know, and I think that's just part of my process. And then I go back to the drawing board and go, okay, well, you know, time to start over again. So,
Would you say most of your raps are freestyled then?
so I do not freestyle,
Oh, okay.
but I do make, usually I make music like kind of in the moment, like, but it's not like every time I sit down is a moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But honestly, I don't write any of my music. I just kind of like memorize it. So, I just like, if I get in the zone and I kind of freestyle to start it, and if I get something that sticks, I'll run with a couple bars and keep repeating those bars until I got 4 bars, and then keep repeating those until I got, my first verse done. And by that time that I'm remembered all that, I'm good to go. Like, I remember it. I don't need to write it down. And I also like have the luxury of recording in my home studio. So I can just like lay everything right then and there when it's like a fresh thought. And it seems like it's more like authentic that way. I'm not sitting there like looking for words. I'm not, searching for someone who I'm not. I'm like literally like, this is me in the moment. Take it. There it is, So yeah, I don't freestyle necessarily, like go in front of the microphone, play the beat, and just go off the top. But I also don't like write my lyrics, I guess. So
No, it's definitely good to hear because I think oftentimes people think like it's just freestyle, and I don't think it's mostly all that. Everyone has their own creative processes, like you mentioned. How would you describe the music you typically make?
um for style, I would say it's just like old school boom bap music for the most part, mixed with like, I don't know, I grew up on really like when I got introduced to music, I think was a very dark period for hip hop. Everything had a dance move. Don't get me wrong. I knew how to do every one of those dance moves and knew the words,
Hey.
but like when you play them now, they're jams. But like I personally think like that was my introduction. So that's like my thought when I sit down with music. So, and then Joe, also known as Micro, who's in the group Half and Half with me, and he kind of just like really put me on to like old school hip hop. And then I kind of just dove deep into that and kind of did my studying and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd just say classic old school boom bap mixed with like a 28-year-old, that's how I feel. So
Yeah, I definitely, when I listen to your music, I definitely get that feeling of like old school classic type vibe. So do you
yeah.
have do you have an album that released in 2019 called Holographic Hiatus? Can you tell me a little bit more about the how you came up with that name for your album?
um so I think that I just originally I wanted to name it Bye for Now. Kind of just like meaning I'm gonna drop an album and kind of just like, do my
Go.
thing, because
Yeah.
I usually do take some time between albums. Um, and as time went by, I kind of just like played off of that, like bye for now, like holographic hiatus. Like I'm gonna drop something, you know what I'm saying? Like holographic Charizard. I'm gonna drop some rare stuff on you guys, and then just like, and I kind of had already taken a hiatus. So, I mean, you could take it whichever way you want. I mean, I feel like most of the stuff we do, we have intentions for it. And then when we actually sit back and look at it, we're like, oh, that's what it could have meant, and we had no idea really, we had other intentions for it. So, yeah. And then I thought holographic was a good word for Micro to be able to play off of some kind of artwork, like that holographic theme, which he absolutely crushed it. Super crispy and clean. I love what he did with it. So that's kind of how came up with that name.
Yeah, because when I saw it, when I had seen the cover of the album and it said holographic hiatus, I was like, huh, wonder what he means by that.
Yeah, and it kind of played off like our group name is Half and Half.
Yeah,
So
I
like
noticed that.
H and H,
Yeah.
so I kind of had like that. And like alliteration is huge, you know, when you read something, I think that is very, very huge. We came up with an album called Hot Sauce for Half and Half. And it's like us wearing white t-shirts with chicken wing stains all over it, and we're eating chicken
That's
wings.
dope.
And like our concept was like, yo, if you walk into a record store and see three jamokes eating chicken wings on the front of a rap album, you might go, I might give this a, you know, like I might give
Yeah.
this a shot, you know. So yeah, I think that there is more that goes into it, afterthought, I guess, but kind of just came up and it was like, all right, that's what it is. So
All right. Who would you want to most collaborate with?
oh man. Okay, so
Be
I'm a
either dead or
Gemini.
alive.
I'm a Gemini, fun
All
fact.
right.
So
I'm a
I'm always gonna
Sagittarius.
be
It's cool.
like, I'm gonna be like this all the time. So
It's all right.
can I get five? Give me like five artists that I could
Go.
collaborate
I'll give you 7.
with. Okay, tight. All right, so number one, I'm going to combine them into one human being. Outcast,
Ooh, that's a good choice.
favorite group ever. If you listen to some of the stuff that I do, some of the mixing and styles and stuff that I rap about is kind of like influenced by that. Um, Number two, honestly, Adam Levine. I love Maroon 5. I think his voice
Yes.
is like so insane, and I think that he's kind of versatile, and it would be cool to make a song with him. Which also Justin Timberlake, I think I think like his energy, plus I think he's really, really talented. Um, don't sleep on this man, Akon.
Yo, he got bangers though.
Okay, I'm saying though, if you listen to Akon, like his style is crazy, his voice is like unique, like, and he be like on some like hood poet, like singing
Yeah.
songy stuff. It's great. So I think that's one that like, I don't know, it wouldn't be like on the top of my list, but if I got one, I think it would be dope. And no matter what I did on the song, he would make it better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that's how I
definitely.
feel. And then obviously I have to like go with someone that's not here still, because I can't do only people, you know what I'm saying, that I could like,
Yeah.
it's still possible. Prince. I think it would be cool to collaborate with Prince, because back in the day though, because now people can just like do this type of stuff and be like, oh, here, I'm gonna do it here, you're gonna do it there, send it to me, da 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 da. But
Yeah.
like being in the studio with Prince would be insane. Like he was such a crazy artist, you know, he engineered his stuff, he played instruments on his stuff, he sang, he wrote, like, so I think like being there, like, and collaborating with him, I think I know I would learn a lot, and just like really, yeah, that would be sick. Um, Two other artists, honestly, Large Professor, which that would be sick, super old school, like knowledge. You know, that's another one that's like, yo, I'm gonna come away with something from this. And I don't really know. I feel like Lauren Hill would be tight, or like Rhapsody would be super tight. I like, she's an amazing artist, but I'm sure if I actually sat and thought of someone, I could think of like, you know, I would have to have time to think about it, because
Yeah,
like people
definitely.
like Daft Punk, like that would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? To do like a collab with someone that's like, you know, not in the same genre or something like that would
Yeah,
be
that'd be
also.
dope to like
So
mix genres a bit.
yeah.
So, on various pieces of music, do you reference a lot of basketball players, culture? Do you have a favorite team or player by any chance?
Uh you know, I don't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna front and act like I'm like some sports fanatic. I played like ball my whole life. I love the game of basketball. I just kind of like, honestly, ever since I started making music, I kind of just stopped watching basketball, stopped kind of caring about, like I don't want to feel crappy because my team lost, like I just stopped watching it, because I started
Yeah,
getting, emotional and stuff. But nah, if I had to though, I'm a Pistons fan, bad boys.
yeah.
And then I also grew up watching Richard Hamilton, so that's my like favorite player. I also Magic Johnson. Um, but now like when I watch basketball, I just like watching players. I like watching tight things happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I just like watching to like I don't really care about the outcome. Like I just want to see something crazy. I want someone get bopped on. I want to see someone get their ankles broke. Like I want to see
Yeah.
someone fight someone up in the stands. Like that's what I
Oh
want to
man,
see when I watch.
that
You know.
you
So
probably go to ESPN after and just watch the highlights.
right, I got the
Yeah,
ESPN app. I can just see all the good stuff. I can skip all hour and a half, and just watch the 10 minutes of the good stuff.
yeah, definitely. Um, do you have any like favorite songs you like performing? Any favorite venue? Any favorite collaborations you had?
Um, well, like double what?
Pre-corona.
Double answer. So in South Dakota, my favorite song to perform, because we would be like as a group still, because Chuck Cakes one, the other member of Half&Half, he's being a great father back in South Dakota, still making music. We're still working on getting some things together. But yeah, we would On a Roll was like the song. It was on like our second album that we released. It was just one of those songs that it at the time was like the hypest song that we did, like
Hmm.
had made. Um, and just everybody that came to our shows in our hometown like knew every word. So it was dope because we literally just got to go up on stage and be like, yo, and like they did the rest of it. And we just kind of like got a party with them, like we didn't have to like focus on what we were saying or whatever. Cause like they basically just rapped the whole song for us. And that was always like our like last song that we would perform. And like, yeah. So when it comes to venues, I don't really have a favorite venue yet because I plan on, going to like bigger and better and expanding. And now that I'm out in Oregon, um, we've performed a couple times out here, but there's a couple venues in mind that I would love to perform at out here. And once this whole thing opens up again, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to get some other venues. So
Yeah, definitely. That'd be such a good thing to see, especially someone like you to see perform in person when you know this whole thing comes to an end.
oh yeah, that'd be fun. It'll be a good time. We like to my like personality on stage is like completely different. It's tight. I like to like I don't know. I love people. I love dealing with people and interacting with people. So like if you're watching us perform, I it's almost like a comedy show. Like if you're in the front row, like you might get picked on, I might ask you a question, you might get hit with some water in the front row or whatever, depending on how it goes. Like, so yeah, I'm excited to get back into it because it's been a very long time since I personally have gotten to perform. So it'll be fun. It'll be like a new dynamic to some of our on stage performances.
What are do you have any recommendations for people who haven't listened to your music?
Uh, yeah. First, go follow me at Kid Moses. No, I'm just playing.
I'll I'll definitely go
So
afterwards.
I would say because we make like we have so many topics and so many different emotions that go into our music. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like, if someone was like, yo, I'm looking for bars, I'm looking for something to like give me hype, I would recommend Tube Socks off of Holographic Hiatus. Um, but if you were looking for like more inspiration or you may be like lost in your life right now, I would listen to the song Perfect Circle. Like it has a little bit more meaning to it, you know. That song actually is like super special to me. And it like just from the potency. But if you're looking for our group music, which is kind of a different style, look up Hot Sauce. Winston is actually my roommate. He's part of the Ill Sense 11 collective. He just dropped an album, Faceplant. Like if you want someone who can rap and you're going to have to listen to their song like 5 times to understand every single word, go listen to his album. It's great, you know. And then we have this collaborative album with our buddy Paper Thin from the group Forgotten Culture. We did a Creeps on the Come Up album in 2013. We just did a sequel just this last year called Leather Bed Sheets. And like, if you're looking for stuff that is kind of off the wall, it might make you feel kind of cringy at points. Like, did he really just say that? Then that would be the album to listen to. You know, there, everyone has their own little lane. So it's tough if someone was like, oh, hey, what should I listen to of yours? I'm always like, what are you feeling? You know, right now. And then like, if you're happy right now, let me point you in the right direction. And if you don't listen to it today, wait until you're happy to listen to it. Don't listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
let me get you in the right emotion. And I think that's how like music is nowadays. You know, there's an album and Spotify allows you to make playlists and do all these things. So, you know, it's like, oh, I got a workout playlist. I'm going to take this from this album and this from this album. You don't usually put a whole album in, you know, in something like that because it's all full of feels. So it's great what the way that music is going to some extent. So.
What's next for you? Any upcoming music?
Oh, shoot. You said what's next? I was thinking dinner after this, honestly. I haven't ate all day. No, music, whole lot of music. Honestly, right now though, like I mentioned before, Winston is about to drop a single May 7th. So you can pre-save that song called Ripley. That's going to be the newest stuff. And like everything that I do is like what we do, you know? So if you're like, hey, what's next? Like if Winston's dropping next, that's him. If Case One is dropping, like that's all us. So he's dropping, where I'm currently putting the last little finishes on his EP, and that will drop this summer. I got a little EP that I'm working on. And you said what?
You have a due date for that? Like when it's coming out?
Honestly, in
like
the
approximately?
near future, in the near future, I wish I could give you a release date. I'm still waiting on a couple like features and stuff like that. It's just like a little short 4-track EP, just to like give you guys something to listen to. But like all in all, we have lots of music. Winston and I are coming out with the collaborative little EP as well. Micro and I are getting another Half&Half album started. But I've really just been focusing on engineering. Like that's what I'm passionate about. I rap because it's fun and some people enjoy listening to it. So I keep making it, but I'm really more into like engineering. I like putting that like little sprinkle on the top of the mix, you know what I'm saying? Like bringing the vocals to life, kind of coaching while if I get an artist to record in-house, it's nice to be able to like coach them and go, hey, you should try it this way. This is exactly how I hear it. And a lot of the artists that I work with, you know, we're trusting of each other. And so I'm working on a lot of stuff right now for other artists. So it'll be nice when I'm done with that to be able to just like put my nose down and just finish up like all of our Ill Sense 11 stuff and let the baby fly. And like, it's your kid now. It's not mine anymore. I don't want to listen to it. I've heard it a million times. So
it sounds a lot like you guys are busy.
Oh yeah, stay busy, you know, stay busy, stay in the studio, stay pushing each other to get better and you know, critique each other and stuff like that. We're constantly doing something, you know, music related. So
a part of this interview, I have to play um 3 minutes worth of music,
Yeah.
two different works
Okay.
from your music.
Of my music.
Yeah.
Who's playing it? You or me?
Well, I was thinking of doing through. I mean, do you want to do it?
No, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking doing the video share and then pop off on YouTube, or I
Oh,
can make
okay.
you the host and you can share video share. Screen share.
Okay, so you're gonna have to walk me through this because, like, when it comes to technology, I'm still iPhone 8, haven't updated my phone. Like, I still,
I got an
I'm very
iPhone
behind
5.
the time. You say what is that one?
I got an iPhone 5.
Okay, I was gonna say that looked like the brick one.
No, just the case.
Whatever works. I mean, whatever is easiest. So,
I kind of figured out how to do it, so I think
all
that'll be
right,
fine. Do you have
okay.
any recommendations?
For music of mine?
Yeah.
Oof. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's got to be fairly appropriate.
Oh yeah.
So,
I forgot about that.
I'm trying to think of a fairly PG song.
Well, it doesn't have to be like the whole thing. It's just like maybe a minute, minute and a half of two pieces of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally would play Perfect Circle off of Holographic Hiatus. I do enjoy that song thoroughly. It means a lot to me. I wish I could just like shoot you one of the new tracks to play because that would be tight, but I can't have no leakages. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even know how that works either.
I would just say Perfect Circle, and let's go with Uncle Jesse from the album Half&Half Hot Sauce. The song is called Uncle Jesse.
Is that available on YouTube or on Bandcamp?
Let me get to my screen here. I think that it's available on YouTube. It should be.
All right. Well, I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay. All right. Oh, sharing the screen. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, I forgot I dropped 100 blunts. Wow. Yeah. Go get that. Go stream that. That is also going to be, that 100 blunt song is actually going to be on the on my EP. So I dropped that a little early.
Were you able to hear that?
I could hear that.
Okay. All right. Perfect Circle.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. It's easy to switch to Fi from the comfort of your.
Also, it means a lot to me because I made this beat and I didn't make all the beats.
It's good to know.
And shout out Simone. She's an amazing human being. Beautiful voice at the end.
Just let it go and watch it flow perfect. I find myself in these crates, that's my way to say I'm soul searching. Homework and blue collar, who screws harder? Use tools proper to produce, you lose product. See, I don't lose nada, I don't do loose change, I don't do dollars. Cause when them checks ain't coming in, this rich nigga find wealth through knowledge. Knowledge is the power, power is the wisdom. Wisdom is the knowledge of the power that we give them. So everyone is equal, no everyone is whole. Everybody loves somebody, everybody setting goals. But once you reach them, don't acknowledge them. Just treat the fears like the blunts being faced, that's college. And I didn't really like what college had to offer them. A dropout, yet they astonished at his accomplishments. A confident nigga is who I stay. You smell the goo from like 22 blocks away. Oh man, you gon' take me back to those days when we was pushing packs and at the trap is where the halfway hang. Follow me. But really follow your heart, follow your dreams, follow your passion, or follow your art. You see this shit gets hard and starts falling apart. Remember the star you are and reach for is not very far. Hollow the jaw.
Wow, it's such a great song.
Hey, thank you. I feel like I made it for, I was in a different spot in my life and I was going through some stuff. So I tried to express it to people so they could also,
Grammarly helps
hopefully
make your writing clear and concise, no matter where.
feel that and relate to it.
We would be able to find your music on Bandcamp, right? For the half
Yeah.
and that one other one you recommended, the hot sauce.
Yeah. It's called Uncle Jesse. Oh, this is crazy. You're like on my screen. It's like you took over my computer.
Yeah.
You better not be hacking me.
Because I really do enjoy this one, For the Love.
Oh, well then play what you love. Yeah.
I'll play this one.
Play it for the love. That's what you just said. You said you love it.
I mess with it, honestly.
You want to know what's crazy? I recorded this song in 2014 before I even moved out to Portland. I recorded it back in South Dakota.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like super old, to me it's been like old news. This was actually supposed to come out on that Hot Sauce album, but I was what would they call it? Ball hogging the beat. And I just rapped for too long and they're like, yo, you didn't leave any room. So we're like, well, we can't just put it on the album. So it just like sat in the vault and I was like, all right, let's put it out on this. So anyway, fun fact.
But if you sleeping on the fam, the half is twisting your cap. We peel it back, that's bananas. And I'ma have to backhand you if you approach my team like heard you was some rappers. No. Like nigga, this the truth. Paul Pierce when we step in the booth, it's so clutch.
Oh, did I mess that up?
Watch the hands go up. We got it hands
it's
down.
Okay.
This toe touch. No, hands down like a Ouija. Believe me, we treat
I hope
the
it is.
like you're easy. We make it look too easy. And tell your mans that we ain't finna collab. Cause if I'm looking for a feature, then I'm getting the half. Deal with the facts. I ain't dealing with wax. And we about to seal the deal. The deal is dealing the crack. Sealed in the bag. We got that verbal sensation. The herbal been blazing like my circle is Jamaican. The haters always hate it when the real niggas make it. I'm okay with my placement. Station beneath the pavement. Look, that's 6 feet till I'm dead. I keep beneath your feet, but still my speech is over your head. I keep flying, no co-pilot, a bold lion. On kids' features, I've been eating on no diet. And I'ma leave it at that. I heard the tortoise beat the hare, so I'm in back of the pack. Lacking the slap jack for yapping this trap. Gas in the can, lit match, I'm mashing the rap. Nah, I'm back in the stoop, black in the booth, cash is your crew. My passion is true, nigga, I love hip-hop. It's for the love of hip-hop. Look, my verbal stay sharp.
Well, I'm gonna stop sharing because I'm pretty sure we got to the 3 minutes of music.
Yes, and you just cut it at a perfect time. If they want to hear more, they got to go back and hear the second verse later, you know? So.
Yeah, you got to give them that. Well, I just want to say thank you for letting me interview you, learning more about your music. I'm definitely a fan of it.
Thank you so much for having me. And, once again, shout out your professor and thank you so much for, giving me an opportunity to clog up your earways some more,
Definitely. Well, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good night.